Hello, I'm James Peltier of Dudley, DeBosier Injury Lawyers. You may have heard of mesothelioma and the risk of asbestos, but are you aware of how truly dangerous it is? Mesothelioma is an extremely deadly lung cancer that has no cure. It's caused by exposure to asbestos. Asbestos was a material used in products before 1980. When used, asbestos released dust-like particles into the air that were often inhaled and swallowed. And when they settled into the lungs or stomach, it develops into mesothelioma. If you're concerned that you or a loved one has been exposed to asbestos, then please pay attention. Between 2,500 and 4,000 Americans are diagnosed each year with mesothelioma. Workers from the 1970s that were exposed to asbestos before the dangers were well publicized and better regulated are still being diagnosed with this disease because mesothelioma has a long period before its side effects show itself, sometimes as much as 20 to 40 years. The symptoms of mesothelioma include abdominal pain, chest pain, difficulty in swallowing, fluid in the lungs, low back pain, loss of appetite, persistent coughing, shortness of breath, and overall weakness. Perhaps the most frightening aspect of asbestos is that workers might unknowingly carry its fibers into their home on their clothes. Family members have contracted the disease simply from this low level of exposure. In addition, you don't have to work with asbestos or in an asbestos processing plant in order to inhale asbestos fibers. A lack of proper workplace controls, such as proper ventilation, can sometimes mean airborne fibers drift everywhere in a complex. In fact, it was determined a Louisiana woman contracted mesothelioma simply by regularly washing her husband's clothes who had worked in a plant that contained asbestos. Her family recently received a $7 million settlement after she passed away from the disease. Short-term exposure to asbestos has been proven to cause mesothelioma in many cases. The fibers can be inhaled on just one or two occasions for them to lodge permanently deep within the lungs. The body cannot dispose of these fibers, and unfortunately, any person who has inhaled asbestos fibers can contract mesothelioma. Exposure to asbestos is serious and life-threatening. If you're afraid that you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or lung cancer, then please contact us today for an immediate and confidential evaluation of your case.